Man, I don't even know how to start this one. Something feels seriously off in NASCAR right now. If you've been watching closely, you already know the vibe is weird. This weekend didn't give us one story, it gave us two, and both of them feel bigger than just a bad race. The sequence of events surrounding Kyle Busch and Richard Childress racing did not develop suddenly. It built step by step, starting before the green flag and continuing throughout the race. Frustration boiling over became a visible pattern. Things not going the way anyone expected were not isolated to a single moment. It all unfolded step by step, before the race and then during it. If you're a real NASCAR fan, you're going to feel this one. The situation moved beyond performance issues and entered a phase where consistency, confidence, and communication all appeared compromised. Like, subscribe, and join NASCAR Nation Hub as the goal is 15,000 subscribers built on real fans who live this sport. Alright, let's talk about what just happened. The sequence begins at Martinsville Speedway during qualifying for the Cookout 400. Several drivers demonstrated competitive pace, including Denny Hamlin, who secured pole position with a lap of 19.275 seconds. Other drivers such as William Byron, Josh Berry, Ty Gibbs, and Shane Van Gisbergen also showed measurable speed during the session. In contrast, Kyle Busch qualified 34th, placing him deep in the field before the race even began. The issue was not limited to track position. Busch described the car using specific terms: sideways, undrivable, and loose. These are not general observations. They indicate fundamental balance problems affecting handling and tire management. When asked whether adjustments could resolve the issue before the race, Busch responded with, "No one knows." That statement reflects uncertainty within the team regarding setup direction and expected performance changes. Further concern emerged when Busch referenced tire wear. Despite the absence of a single Stage 1 caution all season, he stated he would require a caution between lap 30 and lap 40 because the tires would degrade by that point. This projection was based on observed handling and expected fall-off rates. He already anticipated performance decline before the race started. He already knew before the race started. This was not an isolated weekend issue. The broader context shows a measurable decline. Kyle Busch has not won a race since June 2023, marking a stretch of approximately 100 races without a victory. For a two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, this statistic reflects a significant deviation from prior performance standards. Busch's move to Richard Childress Racing initially produced results, including early wins in the Gen 7 era, but those gains have not been sustained. Kevin Harvick, speaking on his show, addressed the situation directly. He noted that when Busch first joined RCR, the team demonstrated speed and competitiveness. However, since the midpoint of that first season, results have gradually declined. Harvick stated that the trajectory raises concerns about long-term competitiveness and questioned how the situation might conclude, particularly given that this is a contract year for Busch. Now it feels like they just don't have it. The race itself validated pre-race concerns. There was no early caution. By lap 46, Busch was already one lap down, confirming the predicted tire fall-off and lack of long-run speed. During this period, radio communication captured increasing frustration. Busch stated, "More rear brake. Give me a drive off. Let me drive the car." These statements indicate difficulty in achieving corner entry stability and exit traction, both critical at a short track like Martinsville. The communication tone shifted from technical feedback to visible frustration. This shift is consistent with situations where adjustments fail to produce measurable improvement. The issue was not limited to Busch's car alone. After Stage 1, all three Richard Childress Racing cars were running 26th or worse, indicating a broader organizational performance issue rather than a single driver setup problem. Statistically, the performance trend continues downward. Busch entered the race 23rd in points, with no top 10 finishes recorded in the season up to that point. He also recorded back-to-back finishes outside the top 20 prior to Martinsville. These results place him outside competitive playoff positioning early in the season. When the full sequence is examined, qualifying struggles, pre-race concerns, race performance, the pattern becomes clear. He knew the car was bad, and it was even worse. The outcome aligned directly with the expectations Busch communicated before the race began. This was not an unpredictable failure. It followed a defined trajectory based on setup limitations and performance indicators. The focus now shifts from a single race to a broader question. Can the issue be resolved at all? Not how to fix this weekend, but whether the current combination can return to competitive form. This is deeper than just Kyle Busch. Performance in NASCAR is dependent on alignment between driver capability, vehicle setup, and team execution. Talent does not disappear. Busch's historical performance includes multiple championships, race wins across different teams, and adaptability across rule changes. The current issue reflects a mismatch between driver capability and vehicle performance. The car lacks balance, grip, and long-run stability, which are essential for maintaining pace over extended green flag runs. The effects are measurable. Frustration increases during races. Radio communication becomes more intense. Results continue to fall below expected levels for a driver of Busch's caliber. This combination produces a feedback loop where performance issues lead to increased pressure, which then affects execution. Pattern recognition is critical in NASCAR. Decline since the Gen 7 debut season is not a short-term fluctuation. It indicates a longer-term trend that has not been corrected. Patterns are significant because they suggest systemic issues rather than isolated errors. The season could get away from them fast if performance does not improve in the early races. The stakes are elevated due to contract timing. Busch is currently in a contract year, which introduces additional pressure. Now you're not just racing for results, you're racing for your future. Performance metrics during this period influence team decisions, sponsorship alignment, and potential opportunities with other organizations. Speculation regarding future movement becomes relevant under these conditions. If performance does not improve, discussions about Busch leaving Richard Childress Racing may emerge. This is not based on preference but on performance requirements within the sport. Something has to change to alter the current trajectory. At the same time, historical data shows that Busch has recovered from difficult periods in the past. He has returned to competitive form after injuries, rule changes, and team transitions. Not counting him out is consistent with his track record. However, current data indicates that right now, things are going the wrong direction. The Martinsville race functions as a reference point within the season timeline. This feels like a turning point because it combines pre-race warning signs, race day confirmation, and broader performance trends. The outcome did not introduce new problems, it confirmed existing ones. Is it the car, the team, something else? These questions are central to understanding the situation. The available data points, qualifying position, lap times, tire wear, radio communication, and finishing results indicate that the issue is not isolated to one factor. It involves the interaction between setup decisions, engineering adjustments, and execution during race conditions. We're watching this unfold in real time.